Hello, everybody, and welcome to another action-packed edition of the OverMark Podcast. We're your hosts, TJ and Dave. So, we're going to be talking about SmackDown, Collision, Happy Gilmore 2. Going to do a little review on that, and an MMA update. So, like always, follow us on our social medias at OverMarkENT. We got our link tree in the bio. It's usually in the videos too, in the little description, but wherever it's at, we're pretty easy to find. But we're going to jump right into it. And we got WWE SmackDown, July 25th, 2025. They had distributed 9,202 tickets, and their setup was for 9,542. So not a complete sellout, but pretty close. They were in the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio, which is the Miz's hometown. So the opening segment was the Hogan Memorial, and this time it's real. Yeah, I figured they'd do that. I tuned in probably like a minute late, so they were like kind of in like doing it and everything, but I ended up seeing it later. It was pretty good. We kicked things off with a somber in memory of Hulk Hogan screen. Triple H is on stage with the entire WWE locker room, and every living legend currently not filming a Tide commercial. What is that? What they're doing now?
Yes.
So we wouldn't be here without him, Triple H says. Yeah, so the little package they did, Triple H was doing the voiceover.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was you're welcome for our entire... Triple H says, through a translation, sorry I fucked that up a little bit, you're welcome for your entire childhood. Fans chanted Hogan like it's 1987 and he just leg dropped communism. We got the 10-bell salute. Jimmy Hart looks like someone just unplugged the 80s. And it was a real tribute, classy, emotional. So, of course, right after that, Logan Paul returned. But first of all, what'd you think about the tribute?
It was very good. It was one of the better tributes that I've seen them do in recent years. I would have liked to have seen the 10-bell salute be on TV and not something that we have to seek out on the internet to watch, instead of them cutting to commercial and maybe just cut a backstage segment or something this week and just give the home audience that. But other than that, I thought it was pretty much perfectly done. The video package was really well. You could tell Triple H was very emotional in the voiceover. All of the people on the stage looked like they were having a bad time, which obviously, it's not great when something like this happens. One of the things, I watched the tribute a second time. I don't know why. And I noticed that everybody's out there and they're like in their ring gear or their street clothes, and they're kind of just like, it's somber and all that stuff. And then you got Tommaso Ciampa out there in like a jeans and no shirt on. It stuck out to me on the second time and I laughed. I don't know why. Did you notice that?
No. I wasn't paying attention to that, man. It was just the Hulkster. It's
Yeah. Well, it's just something when they flashed from the video package to the stage shot, or the where the Tron is, and they were all standing. I'm like, why is that guy got no shirt on? It was like the first thing I noticed the second time I watched it.
Yeah, it's funny they flew all those guys out there just to stand there with them. They didn't really use anybody in anything.
Yeah, they had a $1 Million Man, Brian Blair, Jim Duggan, Jimmy Hart.
I'm sure that maybe they got some stuff that they're filming with them after and everything, and they'll probably like interview all of them and do a little video on the thing after. There's no way they're not going to take advantage of that.
Right, you have all those guys in the same place. You definitely shoot something. They probably already shot it during the day, honestly.
Yeah, most likely. But we can move on from that. More sad shit. That's all last week was, really. So why don't you talk to us about Logan Paul returning and reminding us why we boo modern wrestling?
Well, fresh off of filming Jake Paul, the lesser one, Logan strolls out to a chorus of legitimate hate. He says he made the city and he's giving back like a billionaire throwing nickels at peasants. Introduces Impulsive TV, which sounds like a disease you get from eating gas station sushi. Enter Jelly Roll, the first man to cut a babyface promo while looking like he owns a haunted Cracker Barrel. You inspired little assholes to be assholes. Shakespeare is trembling. Jelly is here for the poor kids, the outcasts, and anyone who ever got shoved in their locker by a Paul brother. I don't know. I keep seeing people online saying that he did a good promo. I don't know. It wasn't for me. Maybe people liked it. I'm sure that there's a value to Jelly Roll, just like there's a value to all of the celebrities that they do, and most of the time it's calculated. But I don't know. I'm not crazy about this, and I think that it's a little unneeded. It's not like SummerSlam ain't WrestleMania. But what do I know? What did you think? More importantly,
I don't know. I didn't mind it. I feel like they've kind of taken Drew McIntyre, and he doesn't really feel like much these days. He did get hurt, so I guess he just got back from disappearing. But I guess after the feud with Punk, it was all kind of a little bit downhill after that. But overall, this should be good. I know people like Jelly Roll, and he's a little bit awkward on the mic, and for I guess the limited amount of training he had, he was decent enough in the ring for what he did.
yeah.
Logan Paul's not bad.
He did hit a boss man slam,
Yeah.
which was pretty impressive.
Randy seems like he's really into it. So
Yeah.
who am I?
Well, if Randy likes it, he knows stuff that we don't. I'm sure.
Well, either way, it's just something to get them everybody involved in a match in SummerSlam, and I'm sure it'll be good. They usually don't disappoint in these. My cat's fucking losing it, but I feel like for the most part, anytime they have these celebrities that seem passionate about what they're doing, they usually let the celebrities have like a really cool big spot. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I'll give him credit. He is an actual wrestling fan. He's
Yeah.
not just like a celebrity that's showing up for the sake of cross promoting themselves and hoping that some wrestling fans will buy their shit. Like
he wants to do
he
this.
is a legitimate fan and wants to do a good job. So
Look at the weight he's lost.
props to him. He lost 100 pounds. They were saying that's an insane amount of weight to lose. So good for him. That's great for your heart. And maybe I'll get proved wrong, but and like I said, the Boss Man Slam was impressive. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little bit of a hater.
He'll do it through a table, I imagine.
Oh shit.
Or something. Maybe he'll do it through a whole bunch of Prime stations, all stacked up.
Well, believe it or not, more stuff happened, and I asked you what you thought preemptively early. So Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton joined in on the chaos, and Drew shows up looking like he just finished a CrossFit murder session. Orton shows up mid-entrance and just swings a mic like it owes him child support. Jelly Roll hits a Boss Man Slam. See, that's what we were talking about. Like he was auditioning for the next Marvel Multiverse. And commentary says Jelly Roll and Orton stand tall. And 1980s Jim Crockett Promotions dies a second death.
Yeah. It was all right. Said Randy seems like he's into it, and everybody seems like they're having fun. So
that's it. That is one of the important things.
I'm looking forward to seeing the match just to see what happens. But about where I leave it, that was a pretty good catch there with the sneeze. But
like that?
Oh yeah, that was good. But I'll jump us into Alexa Bliss and Charlotte versus Roxanne Perez and Raquel, aka the match with a body count. What's that supposed to mean?
Oh well, I'm not sure. That's are they implying that they're
you tell me
promiscuous? Generally when I think of body count.
So from what
I don't think they're implying that. Anyway, go ahead.
From what I've seen, apparently this Alexa Bliss and Charlotte thing wasn't supposed to go on this long, but since it's like getting a good reaction, they're going to keep rolling with it.
Yeah.
But there was multiple distractions in this match. Flair and Raquel fight outside like it's Real Housewives of Suplex City. Alexa starts bleeding from the nose mid-match. Perez wins with a rope-assisted roll-up. Perez wins like it's watching Shawn Michaels win with the hangnail. What? Flair apologizes backstage like a parent who just grounded the wrong twin. Oh, wow. Unbelievable.
She did get busted open there. I saw at the end of the match, like Flair was checking on her and everything and like trying to touch her face and make sure she was okay. And then, she was definitely busted open.
Everybody's hurting everybody these days.
To Alexa's credit, man, she graded it right on out. You wouldn't even have known that she, got potatoed or anything. And, you could see her mouthing to Charlotte, when she was checking on her before they went to break. She was like, she's like, I'm good. I'm okay. And it's like, all right, she's good.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. That earns you the respect backstage and all that. You go
Right.
back there. You remember when Mystico broke his fingers? Like,
And just immediately waved the match off.
he's like, Morse code. But anyways,
didn't that happen to Ray Phoenix too? Didn't he get like a bad finger injury in AEW or something like that? I remember seeing him get hurt and instantly waving for the trainer. I just can't remember what happened.
that sounds familiar, but I don't know. What I do know though is that we got Jade Cargill versus Chelsea Green, because why not book a surprise match at a gorilla position? Chelsea gets murdered live on television. Jade hits Jaded like she's been waiting to do that since catering. Alba Fire and Piper Niven jump Jade post-match because apparently no one likes winners around here. Tiffany Stratton makes the save, then plays tug of war with the title like it's a Build-A-Bear voucher. Why would she make the save?
Yeah, I don't know. Let your opponent get beat down, but I guess it's something, faces want to win. Like how Cody didn't want to beat Cena by cheating at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
win clean. Stupid.
Yeah, Jade stinks. It was just a little squash match, pretty much. Not really too much to go on about that. Take us on here.
Hey, and they stink.
Do they?
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree.
We got Cody Rhodes promo. Jesus delivers a eulogy and a challenge to challenges John Cena to a real fight. Real. He pays tribute to Hulk Hogan with grace, nuance, and one eyebrow raised toward legacy, then pivots straight into Spiritual Violence 101. I don't want the Hollywood Cena. I want the OVW Cena, the Ruthless Aggression Cena. Fans chant Cody like he's Moses parting the bloodline. Ends with this story needs to be real. Buddy, we're in WWE. You just told a guy dressed like a jelly donut to slam a TikToker. Oh, yeah. But, I don't know.
Usual.
It was actually a pretty good promo.
It was decent. Sorry, go ahead.
I like that. I like that he put Hogan over. There's been a lot of negative stuff, and we're not going to address it really. But one thing that since that came up is we were talking about the Chelsea Green thing, and what she had said about Hogan was fairly mundane. I'm trying to scroll back here and find it real quick. It was like literally no big deal. And here we go. Political views aside, Hulk Hogan's influence on the wrestling world was clearly undeniable. He inspired millions and shaped an entire generation of fans, my husband included. We are mourning the loss of an icon, a legend. My love goes out to his family. And then she's getting death threats from all these retards on Twitter and shit like that. And it's just like, what are you doing? Fucking. And these people are talking shit to his family and doing all this goofy shit. And it's just it's not a good thing. I don't know. It's really
strange.
pissing me off, to be honest with you, but there's nothing I can do about it. But at least we've got a venue that we can tell these people to go fuck themselves with their bullshit attitude.
Yeah.
Sorry about the rant there. I just
No, you're good. People are fucking stupid. And we knew it was going to happen. And it's it's funny because she said that apparently she's getting death threats, and it's like for they're guys. For men to threaten a woman to kill him and stuff, it's just maybe you should just kind of look at what you got going on in your life, and what's happening around you, and maybe reflect on that.
Touch grass, you fucking losers.
Yeah, pretty much, because you got way more going on in your life and problems if you're threatening anybody, let alone a female, than that. But we can go ahead and move on here. It's Jacob Fatu versus The Miz, and spoiler, it's a crime scene. Fatu, well, I don't think we actually went over it, but The Miz interrupted Fatu in his interview earlier, and was basically calling him out because that's the reason why he was gone, and he was he's like, I'm back. So I guess he's acting like a face or something. I don't know, but he cut a little fiery promo on him. So this is where the match came from. That he actually smacked Fatu in the face,
slapped the shit out of him.
Yeah. So anyways, Fatu demolishes Miz like he caught him stealing Girl Scout cookies. I mean, I guess that's how big Fatu's kind of getting. Maybe he would be that mad about that. But Solo and the Usoology clan show up to ruin the match per the bloodline tradition. Shit. Usoology. Jimmy Uso returns with a chair, swinging like he's in a backyard promotion with no medical staff. Fatu stands tall until he gets folded like a laundry by Tala Tonga. Wow. Unbelievable.
That's that big, tall guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This happened. It wasn't bad, but it just something to get Fatu out in the ring. So then the bloodline
fill time.
Yeah, until the whatever they're called, My Family Tree comes out and tries to beat him up, and they did.
I'm still not crazy about that name.
Yeah. Me either. It kind of stinks. But yeah, it didn't really go over this in depth either afterwards. But the whole and My Family Tree came out and beat him up, and Jimmy tried to come out for the save and did for a little bit, but they both ended up getting beat by the numbers game. So I guess they're going to have to find a third, which I guess is going to be Roman Reigns.
Well, I mean, Roman's feuding with Paul and Braun and Bronson.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Yeah, so I don't know what they're going to do here. Usually we can kind of see a clear path as to what's going to go on. What I was reading was, and maybe this is already an official match, I can't even remember at this point, but it was going to be Jey Uso and Roman versus Braun and Bronson at SummerSlam.
That makes sense. Maybe they'll have them on both. I doubt it. Remember that he pulled double duty his last WrestleMania.
Yeah,
so
sure did.
Anyways, go ahead and well, not last one, the one two before.
Yeah.
But anyways,
with the tag team match night one, and we got a tag team backstage civil war: DIY versus the Street Profits versus B-Fab's Eyebrow.
Oh wow!
Everyone's cutting promos like they're in an Avengers audition. Yeah, Candy LaRue shows up to remind us this entire thing is slowly turning into a House Party 6 subplot. I don't know. The tag team division feels like it's in shambles, and I don't know. Like, backstage segments usually help further stories, but I feel like lately all of these backstage segments have done is annoy me because everybody's just back there bickering about the fucking Wyatts, and it's like, hello, there's 3 tag teams complaining about a group of 4 guys. Pack up and beat the shit out of them. It's 6-on-4. What in the fuck are you doing? And then 2 of the tag teams have chicks with them that could beat up the Wyatt girl. So you're literally 2v1 in the Wyatt girl. None of this shit makes sense. They're portraying their tag teams as if they're mentally deficient. You know, like, oh, we don't have enough brains to do the thing and get rid of these guys real quick. Obviously, it's a wrestling and it's scripted, but it's just, you know, I don't like that they script them to be fucking idiots.
It's not good, man.
Yeah.
Not good at all. There hasn't been one good thing that these guys have really been a part of. I guess they got a big pop for like a month or so after they showed up and everything, and people were hyped up because, you know, it's the kind of like a Bray Wyatt tribute and everything. But I mean, most of the stuff that Bray Wyatt did was really bad, so I don't understand why this would be any different. And just overall, usually the worst part of every show it's on, unless Jade or Naomi were somehow involved, and maybe there would be like a tie between them, or they'd be fighting for it.
1A and 1B for who was the worst.
Yeah, but these guys suck. There's no potential. Everybody here can't pull any of this stuff off. I mean, they're not really put into a position for this to matter. I just don't really understand why they brought this up if they didn't really have any real goals or plans for these guys. This isn't helping the tag division at all. It was in shambles before these guys were involved. Now it's just even worse. And I don't know. They should all just be let go. I don't want anybody to lose their jobs, but it's obvious they don't really have any plans for any of these guys. And if we're just basing off what they're doing now, they all fucking suck. So, I mean, I hate to be so harsh on them, but it's just a waste of time, money, effort, and you could actually be featuring people on the show that would have a chance to, maybe make you a little bit of money. Maybe have some interest built in that, but every time you put these guys in a position with anybody, they're always devalued. That was the same thing Bray Wyatt did. You can't actually get anybody over against these types of characters. It makes everybody look like a fucking idiot, and I feel like an idiot for even watching. And let's just go ahead and move on here.
Maybe they need to go back to and watch how they booked the Undertaker's entire career and see how they managed to get guys over and not devalue them while working with him.
Well, none of these guys are the Undertaker.
Right. That's
so
that's a big point.
I don't think just anybody can get these kind of gimmicks over, but if they do, it certainly isn't like this, and the presentation isn't like this. And I feel like if I'm some dead person or like got powers, I'm probably not partnering up with anybody else. At least not a pack of goofs. You know?
Yeah, definitely not.
So Zelina Vega wants another shot. Go ahead. What is it?
Are you lagging?
I don't know why.
No, you're good. It just your screen kind of caught up there. Maybe it's just the Discord call.
No, I've noticed it a couple times, and maybe it is Discord. But overall, as long as the voice stays good and maybe my thing skips a little bit, it's fine, right? Was the voice good?
It fucked up for like a second.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't major. Well, I guess we'll see if it's on the show or not, and everybody will find out with us.
Yeah, I'm sure it may be, but either way, it's not the end of the world. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's been fine the whole rest of the time. Besides that, so whatever.
Okay. Also, this thing is on wireless, so and it's upstairs, so I'd have to run like 100-some feet cord up through here. So maybe.
Right. Yeah. Fuck that.
I don't know. We'll figure it out either way. It seems to be doing okay now, so I think we're good. Yeah. Anyways. Zelina Vega wants another shot. Julia's guarded by Kiana James. Zelina, I want a rematch. Kiana, talk to my assistant. Me. Nick Aldis gets mentioned somewhere. He's wondering if he'll ever appear on screen without saying, again, you've got a match. So Julia's got representation now by that Kiana James. And
she was in NXT for a couple of years. They just brought her up.
Yeah, well, I guess they need somebody to talk for Julia and all that and help her cheat, I guess since she's a heel. But overall, nothing to be upset about. But Zelina Vega, she's not it,
No.
So then we go to the main event here, and it's the Wyatt Six versus Andrade and Phoenix featuring 47 interferences. Match starts hot. Did it? Andrade looks like he's ready to prove he's not just Flair adjacent. Ray gets murdered. Loomis tags in and stares into your soul. I don't know about that. Nikki Cross pulls the ref like it's 1998 and Vince Russo just got hired again. Everybody and their mama runs in. Street Profits, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, Rowan, Fraxium. There's more bodies in the ring than a zombie movie directed by Tony Khan. Nick Aldis, has he been known to do that? Nick Aldis appears like Moses, descending the mountains and says the TLC match at SummerSlam. Everybody keeps fighting because nobody respects announcements anymore. Not too much going on there. Junk.
It's a lot of junk, yeah.
Hold on. I'll take care of this real quick.
And they stink.
For real though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired of seeing tag team matches with all of these guys that just devolve into a whole bunch of teams running in and nothing occurring. And again, they outnumber the Wyatts. Why is this happening?
I don't know. Junk.
Stupid. Well, anyway.
So we'll go over these little final thoughts here. We open with tears.
Oh boy.
And close with chairs. No, I think we open with tears and close with tears, to be honest. Yeah. Hulk Hogan's legacy was honored and then immediately upstaged by Jelly Roll pinning a YouTuber. I don't know. Cody and Cena might be the only thing holding this SummerSlam card together with emotional duct tape. To some extent. TLC match for the tag titles. Sure, let's throw 8 more guys in it while we're at it. Yeah, that sounds about right.
There's 4 teams in it, right?
I guess it was a pretty
Jesus Christ,
pretty not a good SmackDown. It's this Wyatt stuff's really bad, like we were saying, and I don't want to keep droning on and on about it, but you got to get them out of there. And I don't know, the show's not working out too good.
Nope. At least it's 2 hours now instead of 3, though, so we don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, that is true. Well, I guess that'll take us to Collision if you want to start jump us on into that.
Oh boy, we got AEW Collision from July 26th, 2025, with a attendance of 1,136. They were set up for 1,144. Said that there were 8 tickets available. They probably ended up selling out. I mean, I imagine, if not, eight tickets. I mean, it's not really that bad. But anyway, they're at the Byline Bank Aragon Ballroom in Chicago, continuing their residency. What are they there for? How long? Was it a month? Week?
I'm not 100%
2 weeks?
sure, but I think they got like 4 more shows there or something.
Okay, so they're probably probably a month.
This was the lowest energy show they've had so far out of their residency.
Yeah, and I think part of the problem with that is, how can I miss you if you're not gone? You know what I'm saying? They're like, we can just go to AEW twice a week for a month.
This is the first week I feel like that they've actually had it live on Saturday. Every other week, it's been taped.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense that they're monopolizing that whole building all that time. You might as well run your shows live. Shit.
Yeah. It's always.
But anyway, we open with Shark Week and Dustin Rhodes. Tony Schiavone welcomes us like it's Starrcade '88 and not a Saturday with a dying crowd.
Tuesday.
Dustin comes out. Whatever. It's not on Tuesday. I thought that was an error. Dustin comes out with his TNT title defense like he just got off the Golden Corral buffet line.
Oh no.
Lee Moriarty. How the fuck do you say?
Moriarty
is his opponent. That's right. Lee ROH still exists. Moriarty. The match starts with Dustin doing wrist locks like it's 1970s Georgia TV taping. Lee targets Dustin's legs like he just realized Dustin's 64 years old. Is he 64? Maybe not. I don't know. Hyperbole, maybe. They trade holds. The crowd yawns. Dustin hits a Dusty Destroyer, followed by a Crossroads, and then foot on the rope. Finish. Roll up out of nowhere, because of course it is. Post-match, Kyle Fletcher shows up like a smug British Hot Topic cashier. I'm better than you, Dustin. Dustin, you want a title shot? Street fight in Chicago. Because if AEW doesn't put Street Fight in your match, is it even on TV? I don't hate Kyle Fletcher. He'll probably end up taking the title off of Dustin at some point. But,
yeah.
I don't know. Didn't need to see this match, really. Don't need to see Dustin with a title in 2025. But here we are. What did you think of this, TJ?
Not too much.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's just Lee Moriarty versus Dustin Rhodes. Like, I'm a fan of Dustin. Always have been, always will be. But why should I care about this? The crowd certainly wasn't that into it. I feel like this is one of the most dull things of the fucking night, to be honest. But I thought the next thing was kind of nice that we went into. Tony Schiavone's Hogan eulogy. So it was a little heartfelt moment. Good. Tony reminds us that Hogan started the Monday Night War. Gave us a moment of silence, followed by Tony Storm cutting back in black and white about Athena. We're not going to go quote for quote on what he said, but it was nice. It was like perfectly worded and everything, especially for AEW, since I guess they don't want to be associated with Hogan. So it worked out pretty good. Didn't upset me at all. And then what'd you think, by the way?
Tony did a really good job here, and obviously, he worked with Hogan for a lot of years, so there is a personal connection there. And I feel like the people on the internet that have been railing Hogan, especially lately, don't really have much to pick apart here, other than that they can just bitch that they said anything nice about Hogan.
Yep. And they'll bitch either way. Been a lot of crazy hate. Like, I've saw some people like beating him up in video games and other stuff over the weekend with certain characters and other stuff like that, and it was just in bad taste. It's I'm sure that all the people in our family, like our grandparents and our parents, aren't perfect and have said stupid stuff and done stupid things and bad things to people, and people grow, and just
Right.
a part of life. I'm not making any excuses for the guy. I'm just saying you'd be surprised how many people suck or have done shitty things if you really look into it.
I made a post that was similar to that. That was kind of like, if you want to, nobody's excusing what he's done or said. I want to be clear about that. But also, like, if you want to shit all over Hogan, make sure that you're over visiting grandma and grandpa your next visit, that you shit all over them too, because they most assuredly were saying the same fucking shit when they were younger.
Yeah, probably still are.
Yeah.
But anyways, why don't you take us into the Bang Bang Gang versus Big Bill and Brian Keith?
Oh, man. Juice Robinson looks fucking weird now. Without the beard, and he came back all chubby, and I realized he had like a really bad back injury. But man, he was never in that great a shape before, but he kind of had abs and shit. Now he's got kind of, not a gut, but it's not a skinny guy either. Anyway, not enough commenting on a man's physique, Dave. Juice and Austin win a quarterfinal eliminator world tag team title whatever match. Big Bill no sells like a bootleg test. Keith is fine. Austin Gunn gets the Ricky Morton comeback like he's suddenly part of the Von Erich family. Juice pins Keith in a roll-up because AEW finishes come in 3 flavors: roll-up, interference, or falling off a ladder. God damn, that's accurate. And I don't know. I want to like these guys. I'm trying to give Big Bill a chance because I know TJ's high on him, but I don't know. And fucking...
I think without Chris Jericho out there, they don't have much direction, so
they're just kind of floundering.
Yep. Not really too much to say. They advanced in the tournament. Their tag division also is kind of a joke right now. So maybe they needed this to get some eyes on certain guys, and maybe they'll build somebody here. Highly doubt it, but
it's crazy that they have tag teams like FTR, Hurt Syndicate, and shit like that, and it's like we can't get a good tag team program. But I guess maybe after the tournament here, we'll get a short-term tag team program that probably ends up being good because it'll be FTR and the Hurt Syndicate. But what they'll do after that with either of those teams that of value is anybody's guess.
Well, they're gonna have Edge and Christian back together here soon, so I'm sure they're gonna take those things at some point.
Yeah, them and FTR will be a good feud.
Yeah, it will.
That'll help save the tag team division a little bit in AEW, I think.
We'll see until the Bucks grab the belts again. They'll be back to square one. But we got a backstage segment. Don Callis offering Shane Taylor $100K to be his henchman. It's funny. He's basically saying like, "Oh, we're gonna partner up," and he was hyping it up, and Shane Taylor seemed all happy. And then he's like, "So we'll split the money. I'll take $300K, and you get 100." And Shane just looks like he got told that he's in catering for the next 6 months. No, that's not what actually happened. He'd be happy if that happened. He just looks like he got told that he isn't going to be able to go in catering for the next 6 months.
Oh, no.
Yeah. then he would be very upset. And this next one was kind of interesting because it was like Anthony Bowens versus Max Caster. The Acclaim breakup like it's a CW drama. And it's funny because, he does this thing where he comes out, he leads the crowd into the Let's Go Max, you're the best wrestler alive stuff. And Bowens has kind of been hinting at being a heel and everything, I feel like. He's been telling Billy Gunn that a little bit. But anyways, Bowens shows up and beats the absolute crap out of Caster. Caster tries to... get a Let's Go Max chant going, fails miserably. Bowens hits the Famouser, a super kick, and a Bolly Wop. He wins clean, then tries to murder Billy Gunn post-match, but thinks better of it. Yeah, he was up behind him, but then decided not to attack him. And Billy Gunn was actually checking on Max. So it's like, what is he going to show up with Max on the next show or something?
They should have never broke these guys up, speaking of shit on the tag team division. I know we say that every time we talk about it. Christ.
Yeah, but then AEW Breakup Angles brought to you by Anxiety and Unfinished Storyboards. But yeah, it's I guess they're doing a double turn or something like that. I don't know. They just need to get these guys back together again. They're a fucking really good act. Maybe that's the direction that they're leaning in, which I hope it is. Because why not just give them the fucking belts? I'd rather watch them and the Guns go against each other than fucking most of the other fucking people on the fucking show, if that's what they want to do. But what'd you think?
It's all right. They keep doing these squash matches every week with Max Caster and devaluing the shit out of him. I don't know at this point, even if they decided to put the Acclaimed back together, that these guys would be able to recover, at least in the short term. It might take a long time to build them back up to where they were, just because of how much they've been misused since they've been separated. I don't know. Other than that, I don't really think very much of it. Quit fucking ruining these guys' potential to be something good with your goofy bullshit, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair statement. And why don't you take us to the next money gimmick match, Dave?
Oh boy, we got the $400,000 8-man clusterfuck. The conglomeration, yeah, that's what we're calling it, versus Archer, Hechicero, and the Infantry. I almost called them the Infancy. I don't know why. Hologram, Ishii, the Outrunners, somewhere. Tony Khan is definitely rolling the dice to book matches. Ishii looks like he showed up for a different company's taping. Archer beats up everybody. Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum try their best Rock and Roll Express cosplay. Paragon shows up. Shane Taylor runs away. The ref dies. Truth gets the pin. $400K for this match. That's $50K per bump and $0 in crowd reactions. Yeah, they were pretty. Crowd was pretty not into this one. They were sitting on their hands, as folks like to say. And me too. I don't know. I didn't need to see this match, but I guess they needed to put something on here to fill TV time, so this was what we got. I still like Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum's entrance. You know how it's all like grainy VHS stuff. So that's cool. But
they gotta stop having these money gimmick matches, man. They're stupid.
Yeah.
It just screams of like, I don't have anything for these guys to do.
Well, it's either a money match or a tournament match.
Yeah. It seems like his ideas, huh? Yeah, then we got the Triangle of Madness. What was the other one? The Triangle of Death with Penta and Phoenix and
oh yeah, Death Triangle.
What's his face? Pac. Yeah, so
Pac.
Those are terrible names. You don't want to put triangle in any name that you do of anything. It doesn't roll off the tongue. But versus 3 local hometown security guards. Sky Blue, Julia Hart, and Thekla team up. Laney Luck, Maserati, and Ellering were there too, allegedly. Triangle Madness wins after about 2 minutes of legal chaos. Queen Amanada comes out, then gets killed by Megan Bain. Welcome to Shark Week. Please enjoy our women's division squash buffet. Yeah, this was confusing, pointless, weird, not good wrestling. Just screams of just not knowing. None of this. It was just bad.
Just hodgepodged together. It's like they just fucking threw shit at the dartboard to see who was gonna face who and who was gonna do what.
Yeah. Well, that being said, take us into the next one, Dave.
Oh boy, we got Nick Wayne and Kip Saban versus AR Fox and Angelico. Whole bunch of people I don't want to see. A fever dream of a match. Angelico tries technical holds. Nobody cares. Fox flips around, gets killed. Kip tags in, does a 2005 CM Punk cosplay. Nick Wayne with the kill switch, because apparently he's allowed to do because Christian's on paternity leave. It says Edge there, but it's Christian's move. I don't know. I don't need to see these guys. I don't mind seeing Mother Wayne, but other than that,
they set this up earlier in the show. There was a little backstage segment where they set this up, and AR Fox said some stuff to them, and then I don't know, Nick Wayne just, man, he's not it either. AR Fox, Angelico, at least AR Fox is there more often, but Angelico, don't ever need to see. I don't know. This is just more garbage. Nothing really to see there. Just some guys filling up TV time. And we got backstage with Chris Statlander, Quasi Willow mode activated. She cut a promo where she blows flower petals into Renee's face and calls it therapy. And you can't stop stat, but apparently you can confuse the hell out of viewers. This was pretty strange too. I wouldn't say that she didn't sound bad. It was just strange.
Wasn't well conceived of a promo, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, then we got this main event here. You want to talk to us about that?
Okay. We got Athena versus Alex Windsor. Ring of Honor title match that might have been great if anyone cared. Good match, hard hitting, plenty of near falls. Windsor is talented. Athena is too. The crowd is asleep. Athena retains with the O face. That's her finishing move. Kind of finishing move is she doing to somebody if they're getting the O face? Anyway, that's post match. Tony Storm runs in like it's a Broadway audition. We get a hip attack, a chicken wing, and a Billy Starks beatdown. Windsor makes the save, and they both do the "we're all faces now" pose. Yeah, that happened. I don't know. I could take or leave these girls. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Athena's she's not very good.
I want to like her. I do. I really do. But I don't know. Maybe it's just the way that she's being used currently.
She's corny. She's not very good on the mic. She doesn't seem confident. Alex Windsor hasn't really done anything yet for me to dislike her or anything. She just kind of got tossed in the middle of nowhere. But they honored Hogan. Dustin was there. Bowen's some random fucking turn, I guess, and it's felt like a Tony Khan fever dream where he books off his DMs. But this was a rough show. This was a really bad collision. You can't build a company or brand with this, and the show I feel like actively damages AEW's brand.
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to watch this show? It's fucking garbage.
There would be a lot better if they just had the one show. I remember I was excited when Rampage came out, and then it was like Rampage wasn't even that great. And then I was excited for Collision because we had CM Punk, and he'd be guy running, and then they got rid of him like 2 collisions in or whatever the fuck. So, all right.
Yeah. Yep. That was Collision's a fucking disaster. But I guess we'll wrap up fucking the Collision review, right? That was fucking terrible. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah. If people ask me if I want to watch Collision, I tell them
no. Oh, my dick sucks.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll take us into some news and some of that kind of stuff that we talk about sometimes, and we're going to jump into something that we haven't really talked about too much here. I think we've maybe done one segment on something related to it, but we're going to do a little MMA update, and I'm just going to talk about the card that happened this weekend and what we might have to look forward to here. So it was a pretty good fight. It was Robert Whitaker versus Renier de Radier. Really weird name. But yeah, it was the...
I thought you just had a stroke there for a second. I had to watch the video to make sure you were okay.
Renier de Radier is what the guy's name sounds like. But anyways, it's UFC on ABC 9. So they've been doing these cards sometimes on over the air, and it was a pretty good little card. Not a lot of big names on it, but it was decent. That Bryce Mitchell guy, the one that's like pro like Hitler or whatever. I don't know if you remember that MMA guy that was...
What?
Yeah. He's a flat earther and all that. He ended up winning his fight. This was his bantamweight debut at 135. Yeah, Bryce Mitchell, if you want to look him up.
When he comes out, he's like...
Yeah, that would have been him. But yeah, it wasn't a bad little fight between him, but that wasn't one of the big ones. I'm going to skip most of these. So we had Peter Yan, who's a former... I think it's 125 champion in the UFC. It might be it's 135. My fault. So Peter Yan, who's a former 135 champion in the UFC, he won a unanimous decision against Marcus McGee, who looks like a young Vanderlei Silva. It's funny. Like if you look this guy up, sorry, I hit my mic. Marcus McGee. He literally looks like a browner Vanderlei Silva, but he's younger.
Huh.
But yeah, it was a decent little fight. Peter Yan takes a while to like the first round. It takes him a second to kind of like get into the fight, but I feel like he won all 3 rounds, and it was a decent little fight. But we'll go to the main event that we were talking about with Robert Whittaker versus Rene De Radier. RDR ended up winning. It wasn't the best fight, but it wasn't the worst. People feel like it's kind of a controversial fight, that like Robert Whittaker should have won, and the strikes were close, but then RDR ended up kind of pulling more control, holding him against the cage, took him down a couple times, and when the striking's even, then what else would you go to? The next best thing to base on who was more dominant. And this guy did have more octagon control by pushing the guy forward, controlling where the fight happened, and he deserved the fight. It was kind of a weird fight, but I mean, they were exhausted. Anytime you have like a really grappling heavy thing going on, people usually get tired pretty fast, especially at anything over like 155 these days, it seems. But overall, it was a pretty decent little card, and I wanted to jump into another one that we're going to get here soon. It's going to be next weekend. It's going to be a pretty crappy little card here. It's going to be at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's UFC on ESPN 71 with Albazi versus Tiara. They're saying that Tatsuya Tiara might be falling out of the fight, and they might end up having a replacement main event. So it may end up being Waldo Acicado Cortez, I might be saying his name wrong, against Derek Lewis. Now that's the rumors. That may or may not be the case, but we'll see. But if this main event that's currently here happens and falls out, then we'll get that heavyweight replacement, which should be a good fight. Derek Lewis has the record for knockouts in the UFC and finishes, I believe, too. So,
sure.
Yeah,
Black Beast.
Yep.
Balls was hot.
Yeah, that guy.
Yep,
there's not really too much more to go over. This is just a lot of really lower end fighters on this card, but I thought it'd be worth mentioning that maybe the main event's going to be falling out there. And we're going to be going over also in more detail in future ones. So the next pay-per-view, which is August 16th, is 319. And we'll go over that in more detail, like the week of or beforehand. And that'll be cool because it's DDP versus Kazmat Chimaev, which is like 2 of the best fighters on the planet. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Right.
That'll be
South
a great
high five.
fight. Oh yeah. But beyond that, we can move on from the MMA talk. I know that's not our usual stuff. It's just something that I wanted to start talking about here and there, toss a little segment in sometimes and talk about it. But overall, MMA's in a kind of weird spot right now, man. It's I feel like it's kind of down, and they're in the middle of their TV negotiation rights or whatever all that stuff is. So it's their future is they'll always be number one in MMA, but we don't know where they're going to be doing their stuff. I don't think ESPN's going to be where they're going to land when they renew. So that will also
Probably
be stuff.
not, no.
That will also be stuff that we'll be covering as well. But
I bet you they'll probably end up on like a Netflix deal or something.
I think so. TKO is kind of working with them already. I think when SmackDown runs out, you will also see SmackDown end up on Netflix.
Oh, definitely.
It is internationally already, so it just makes sense for them to just do it everywhere. And if they eventually also get the PLEs, Netflix will be the place to watch WWE, and we'll see.
I think next year is the final year of their PLE deal, or maybe we're in the final year of the PLE deal now. I know it's soon. I just don't know exactly when.
Well, they could have an optional year extension. I'm not sure if they do or not. So that's something that we'll have to go over too. Maybe we'll do like a TV rights negotiation thing so we can do an update on when people can expect and when this stuff's going to happen.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, something to talk about. I don't feel like a lot of people do that. But that was that. And I feel like we can move on from the MMA talk and we can jump into a fun segment here if you want to lead us on into that, Dave.
Well, we're doing a little bit of a fun segment today, which is a little different than not that what we normally do is fun, but TJ and I both watched Happy Gilmore this weekend, so we figured we'd talk about it a little bit. It's got some wrestlers in it, so we're shoehorning it in there a little bit because we both liked it. So we got a nostalgic hole-in-one. The film delivers on all the warm, familiar vibes that fans hoped for. Tons of callbacks that actually make sense. And it wasn't just a bunch of lazy throwbacks like shoehorned in. the feel good factor, whether it was Happy swinging that driver again or the subtle references to Chubbs or different callbacks, it genuinely made us feel like kids watching the original for the first time. MJF surprises. He brings charisma and comedic timing, blending perfectly with Sandler's energy. His role might be small, but he steals most of the scenes that he's in. He did a really good job. Becky Lynch delivers. She was one of the bad guys in the show on the opposing golf team. Spoiler alert for everybody that hasn't watched it yet. And she shows that she can act. Her role had weight and humor, and she absolutely nailed it. Bad Bunny even did a good job. He wasn't just there for hype. He put in effort, felt natural, and brought some charm to the cast. I thought he did a really good job in his role there, and he's featured very prominently throughout the film. Obviously, I'm trying to not spoil what everybody's doing, but we could just say, obviously, he's in there. He plays Happy's caddy in the film, and he did a great job. He really did. I was as blown away at how good of an actor that he was as I was blown away at how good he did on wrestling. We'll put it that way. And the fan service done right, from the Shooter McGavin references to new spins on classic gags. It respects the original and earns its own laughs. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There were definitely some moments that got you in the feels. Some of the callbacks. If you're one of those people that kind of can get emotional from nostalgia, this one will definitely get you for some of the stuff. And I really liked it, is the short version of what I'll say here. Is it as good as the first one? No. Most sequels outside of Dark Knight are not better than the first movie. How many movies can you think, TJ, that the sequel, Terminator 2 and Dark Knight, that's like it?
Maybe the original Star Wars second movie.
Empire Strikes Back, yeah.
Yeah, maybe Lord of the Rings, the original second movie. Notice these are all trilogies. Maybe
yeah. I
was going to say The Matrix, but probably not. I think the first movie was the best one out of all of those.
Yeah.
Just trying to think.
The point is, there's not a lot of them.
Yeah. Video games, it goes that way too, usually.
Yep.
But yeah, I liked the movie. It was funny. If you like old fucking 90s and 2000s comedy movies, like, this is right up your alley. If you don't like Adam Sandler, don't watch it, obviously. But this was a pretty funny movie. It was like longer than I expected it to be too. It was about 2 hours, which is good, but had a lot of good callbacks. The story, it felt a little bit rushed at first, but then once they kind of like start branching off into what's going on, it wasn't rushed. It was pretty well paced. All the callbacks of the old characters are funny. He had all his buddies in there for the most part, got a little role. He paid some tribute to some people that had passed, which was nice. Even that one kid in one of his past movies that passed, I forget his name, but I mean, I love these kind of movies, so I may be somewhat biased, but I'd probably give this one like a 4 out of 5 or something. I really enjoyed this movie. Maybe like a 3.5 out of 5.
3.5 is what I was thinking. Yeah, I mean, obviously, no movie is perfect, but it did a really good job. And like all of the movies that we named, where the sequels were really good, are not comedy movies. They're all like dramatic movies or action movies.
Yeah.
So to have a good sequel in a comedy series, it's pretty rare. So good job, Adam Sandler and everybody that was involved, the folks over at Happy Madison. Give yourselves a pat on the back. These guys liked what you did.
Yeah, for sure. And I've seen a lot of people not liking the movie. I've seen a lot of people liking it. I guess it was always going to have mixed stuff. MJF did great. Becky Lynch did great. Like you said, Bad Bunny did good. We don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but check it out. It's good. If you got Netflix, you most likely do because you're watching Raw on it. So just watch it. It's some good stuff. We'll just leave it on that. And I thought it was pretty cool how Shooter came out and him and never mind. I just thought it was kind of cool what they did with him.
Yes. He was very good in that movie.
Yeah, because you thought maybe he was going to end up being a certain way, and it turns out that he went the exact opposite and did something that you would not expect.
We got swerved, to use some wrestling terms.
Yeah, it's funny, and then that one guy's breath stinking real bad. Did you see did you see how like when he opened that door at that one point, it actually was a fart indicator. Like that's how he opened it.
Yeah.
And earlier in the movie, Happy said that his breath smelled like farts. So then like that guy was like on the thing to open it, and it was like fart detected. So his breath's that bad. He's like, "What? I have gingivitis. It runs in the family." I don't think that's how it works, but it was a good movie.
Yeah.
And I guess that means we're going to wrap it up here. So it was a good episode. Maybe the wrestling wasn't so good, but I had fun going over them with you. SmackDown usually disappoints when they had all the guys from every show on it. It was good there for a couple weeks, but now that it's back to normal, it has settled back into its usual laziness. And Collision usually continues to be the worst wrestling show every week, hands down. I think this week's Collision is probably one of the worst wrestling shows that I've seen all year so far. Just
I thought you were going to say ever. I was like, oh man, not ever.
no,
Pretty bad, but this is definitely one of the worst ones this year for sure.
yeah. And I'm just glad that we don't have to watch it again. And I really hope that there's something better next week. But I'm not going to hold my breath for that to happen.
Before we get out of here, I did think of one more thing. Did you see the New Japan tribute to Hogan?
No.
It was pretty good. It was very classy.
I think I saw them in the
really
ring,
good
like
job.
a picture. They had like a
big old picture of him with the New Japan belt,
Yeah.
and it was classy. Obviously, I don't speak Japanese, but they had it subtitled for us gaijins, and
I can tell you one thing about Japanese people.
they also did a very good job.
They have no problem with any of the comments that Hogan made. Absolutely
No.
none, if you know anything about Japanese culture.
Yeah.
So I imagine
man.
that they probably liked him even more over there.
Oh shit!
I'm serious.
They're like, you said that? Oh, I really like him.
Yeah, I mean, if you know anything about Japanese people, you ever watch their depiction in anime? I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about what they think. But I mean, just knowing some Japanese people and them telling you how it is over there, you think racism? Asian people are the most racist people on the planet. Ooh, I just froze up for a second.
Yeah,
But,
I saw it.
Huh. It might be the connection. I might end up moving the PC a little bit.
Did you change any of your settings or anything?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, it's probably just you could get like one of those Wi-Fi hub extender things. Like I'm on wireless in my room, and I have like a hub extender thing in here.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, you'll see us next on the day after Raw. We're going to be doing
Tuesday.
Yep, Tuesday. We're going to be reviewing that, so we'll be watching that tomorrow, and then we'll have it out to you Tuesday. We'll be going over some more news and all that other kind of shit we usually do. We'll pull something out and we'll talk about it. Hopefully nobody dies, and then I'll be happy next week.
Damn, don't.
Yeah. But
let's aim for a better week next week of our childhood heroes.
Did I tell you like Monday? I didn't go to work, right? And I was gonna take one of my PTOs. They just fucking did it anyways. For some reason, they paid me for Monday, so it's like I got paid fucking to not go to work. I had an awesome fucking week, man. Like you can't beat that.
Nothing to complain about there. No.
Yeah, so I still got that vacation day, and it's gonna fucking work out.
Hell yeah.
I think I might be planning.
yeah.
So like Labor Day, in September, I'll have September. It's on a Monday, so I'll have that Monday off. I think we're gonna take the Friday off and have like 4 days off in a row. So I'll be like,
yeah, I need to look into that.
yeah, and it's funny. Like Core was saying, like, this obviously isn't gonna happen Labor Day. It's unrelated, but Core's like, yeah, we need to try to go visit Dave sometime. I was like, yeah, we were talking about that. So maybe we'll be able to make something happen at some point in the next future time being.
Hell yeah. We'll definitely figure something out.
Yeah.
We'll both get a little bit more of our shit paid down and squared away, and then we'll be able to figure something cool out.
Well, funny. We can do an in-person episode.
Right? That would be awesome.
Yeah, we'll see. Just some stuff to think about. But yeah, overall, check out the social medias at OverMark ENT. Like we said, there wherever the fuck you might look it up, you'll find it. But yeah, thanks for listening. We got our Overmaniacs in here. If you like, listen, sub, do whatever. We appreciate you. Even if you didn't, we appreciate you just for checking us out, looking at us, even if it's for a minute. Share our shit if you don't mind. Anything helps. But that being said, appreciate you, Dave. It's always fun.
Much love, TJ.
It's always fun. And I'm going to sign off, I guess. And Dave will say bye. So we'll see you guys Tuesday.
See you guys next week.
Did I give Steve Austin?
Oh, wow.